Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel. Today's video we're going to be taking a look at the colored pages I did for the month of February. February is a pretty short month, but I actually think I did more pages this month than I have in a long time. I think I did maybe 6 or 7, which might not really sound like that many, but for me that's a lot. So let's get into it. I'll show you what I colored this month and I'll tell you what I used and everything. Some of these pages you might have seen already or, seen like half finished. Especially this one. I have done already 2 videos on this one, coloring her skin and I think I colored this flower in a speed coloring video, and I've been posting it on my community tab probably for over a month. I do like how it came out. I am happy with it, but I just kind of getting sick of looking at it, to be honest with you guys. I wanted it to be over. I was going to do a video coloring the hair, but I just had been working on this one page for so long. One night I was like, let me just color this hair while I'm watching some TV in bed. And that's what I did. I ended up finishing it in a few hours one night. So everything's Artix pencils, and the background, I did a little bit of chalk pastels. I'm always kind of like pretty boring and basic when it comes to backgrounds. So that's usually what I do. I put some chalk pastels just to give it a little bit of depth in the back. I used my eraser on the back over here, thinking this was some pencil marks, but it wasn't. It was ink from my printer. So then when I put the chalk pastel over the back, it didn't cover those spots. So that's the only thing disappointing. I don't know if I could cut that side out, maybe, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with this one, how it came out. So after I did that one, I was like, you know what, Crystal, we need to speed it up. I can't be spending months on one page. And I wanted to do some quicker pages. So I used alcohol markers in combination with my pencils in the next few pages I'm doing. I'm going to show you. This is also by Lana Green. I think it's called Attraction. Yeah, it's called Attraction. And I just did her skin with Black Widow pencils, and I did everything else, alcohol markers, her hair, the butterflies, the flowers. I did go over the butterflies a little bit with pencil on top too. And next up is this one. This is another one from Lana Green. This one just came out maybe last week, and I did this one with Artix colored pencils and Ohuhu markers. I did her skin and her hair with the Artix pencils. Just when I did her hair, I used black and cerulean, and I took my white pencil from the Bazar 130 piece set that I have. The white pencil is really good from that set, so I used it as a blender. And I really like how the hair came out. Nice shiny blue black hair. I was thinking of spring when I picked these colors. I was like, green, we're kind of going into March. Looks a little bit St. Patrick's Day-esque too. I think her name is the Star Princess, maybe. But you can get this one if you visit Lana Green's Facebook page. I know, and she has a coloring group too. You could find it over there as well. And let's see what else is next. All right, the next one I'm going to show you, this is from Gracia Salvos. This is from her Etsy shop. I'm not sure what this one, I forgot what this one is called. I know I did a speed coloring video on this one with a couple of songs, and I have the title of it up over there, so I'll put the card in for that. I do like this one, how this one came out for the most part, except for the wings. I wish I would have spent a little more time coloring her wings, but I think because I was doing it, kind of fast to make the speed coloring video, I kind of just didn't really spend too much time on them, and I don't really like how they came out. They just colored over them and put some stickles on top, and I tried to put some, what are those called? Well, liquid pearls, and they got kind of messed up too. So I did this with alcohol markers as a base, and then I colored on top with Prismacolors for them. I don't think I put anything on her hair. I think that's just marker, but her skin, her outfit, I put all Prismacolors on top. I do like how her eye came out, her tears. I tried to make it look like she had her mascara was kind of running and her tears, like she had glittery kind of glistening tears. I put some, like a really teeny tiny bit of watercolor under her eye just to make it look kind of like running mascara. I don't know if you can tell. But yeah, this one's all right. I'm not really so crazy for that one. This one I did, this is from Ennis Guerrero's Patreon page. I did subscribe to her Patreon. Every month she gives an exclusive image, so I downloaded some of the past ones, and this one I really liked a lot. And I did this one with Black Widows. You know, the actual girl is all Black Widows and the leaves are Black Widows, but the backgrounds I did with supervision watercolor paints. I should have thought of it before I started coloring. I wanted to use the watercolor paints on here, and this is just regular cardstock paper, you know, it's not like watercolor paper or anything, so I knew it wouldn't come out so great if I just put watercolors on top. So halfway through I put the gesso on, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it because it's gonna mess up the pencils. But what I did was I sprayed workable fixative on top of it before I put the gesso, and it worked pretty well. It didn't really get any running from the pencils after I put the workable fixative, and then I put the gesso afterwards. All in all, I think it came out pretty good for not doing everything in the right order that I should have done in the first place. But yeah, so I did some different supervision paints on here, and I kind of messed something up over here, like the water. I guess because of the gesso and the workable fixative kind of mixed together somehow, or maybe I put too much, and it was just like wiping off. The watercolor wasn't like sticking really good, so I ended up just wiping that section off, and I colored it over with some Prismacolors, and I colored on top of the watercolors too, with Prismacolors as well, because it was getting like little like water drop. You know, when it dries, the watercolor dries and it doesn't, because since this is not flat, it was kind of pooling in different places. So I colored on top with Prismacolors, hoping that would blend it out a little bit. And it did, I think, pretty much. And it kind of added to the kind of grungy, murky look to the water too, I think. So I do like this one a lot. I think it's one of my favorites of the month. And this one is, I just showed this to you guys probably in my last video. I did my book haul. I got this towards the end of the month, and I did just colored this page like maybe like the last day of the month. And I just did all Ohuhu markers and a gold gel pen. I did a gold gel pen for her necklace and her crown and her earrings. Everything else is just Ohuhus. I did that one really quickly. I like to use markers on these kind of grayscale books. It's nice and smooth for markers. And this one is from Serenity. This is Anastasia Koldareva's book. I did this one I'm really trying to practice my darker skin tones. I used a color picker. I was trying to look on YouTube for some dark skin tone like color tutorials to get ideas for like what colors to use. And I saw this one video where I wasn't in English. I think maybe it was in French, but I kind of got the gist of what she was talking about by just watching the video. And she showed using a color picker app on your phone, and she had just a picture of a person, and she went over the face with the little cursor, and like it showed the colors. And I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. I should try that. So I just Googled like some random model, and I was trying it out on a couple of images. And the image that I did try it out on, like it totally didn't come out the same color as as what I was actually going for, but it was a really helpful tool, I think, trying to figure out like where the highlights are, like what color to use as the like the base, the undertones and stuff. So I did that with my Black Widow pencils. Now I probably, in hindsight, it probably would have been better if I would have used like an easier pencil, like a Prismacolor, like easier in my opinion to blend, because Prismas are a little bit more forgiving, I feel like, when you're mixing colors together. And this paper is kind of funny. This is kind of a funny paper in this book. So I did have a little bit of problems getting the end result I was going for. And, you know, when you erase on this paper, it's really not such a great idea to keep erasing or going over a lot of spots. You can't really do too much layering on this paper either. It gets kind of gives out after a while. I was really afraid it was going to get a hole, so I was like, let me cool it. And I really messed up this section over here. I erased this whole section and started over again. So it's not even, like the color's not exactly how I was envisioning it in my mind, but I do think it came out pretty good for a first try. I do want to try again, like I said, with my Prismacolors and like maybe different, like a more forgiving paper than this. So we'll see what happens next month, if I can get the hang of it a little bit better. Then I just did her hair with marker, and I kind of did, and then the flower, I think I did with alcohol marker. And these little flowers, I didn't know what kind of flower this was at all, so I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna color it whatever comes to my mind. So I just did pink and purple, and I figured these must be some kind of leaves coming out, so I just did it green. And I think her top, I did marker and I colored on top with pencil. So that's it for all of my completed pages. I'll show you what I'm working on right now that I didn't get a chance to finish by the end of this month. And this is the Valentine's Day page from Lana Green's Etsy shop. I almost bought this again. I had bought this last year and I kind of forgot that I bought it. So I was looking at it again this Valentine's Day. I was like, oh, maybe I bought this one. I'm not sure. So a good thing I checked, or else I would have bought it again. But I'm doing this one right now with my Evazar colored pencils. And I'm thinking I might do maybe a color and chat with you guys on the strawberry dress. I thought that might be an interesting topic to talk about this. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the strawberry dress. This was like a really viral dress that came out right when the pandemic and the quarantine happened. So I thought that might be a fun topic to talk about as we color and chat. And I think that's all I have for you guys today. Happy coloring, and I'll see you next time.